Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Carlock Confessions. I am your host, Frank Fanzoni, and it is Tuesday, May 12th. Another wonderful night. It's getting lighter out, which is very exciting. Very, very cool. Hello, Kelly. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. It's going to be another great episode. Got a lot of content to cover, a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We will be talking a little bit about a coronavirus tonight, some news stories surrounding that. We got our poll question up for the night that we just got up. We have last week's poll question we'll cover. We'll do our grinds my gears as we do every week. Very excited to be here. Hopefully you guys are too. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there in the Carlock Confessions community. Thank you so much for all that you guys do. Happy Mother's Day to all of you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your Mother's Day Sunday weekend and all of that with the kids and all that good stuff. We'll go ahead and recap Mother's Day that we had at our household in my personal recap for the week. Let's see. We are doing another drawing as always. We're going to do another drawing for a decal this time. So every time you share a video from this page to your page, you get one free entry into our contest and win a free decal for your car from Carlock Confessions. So that would be cool. So if you guys want to share the video and get entered into the contest, please do so. Greatly appreciate it. Give me a like, a follow, and a share. Tell your friends that we're here. And see if we can get some new faces on. Be greatly appreciated. Very excited when we have new people on as well. We get new opinions. And again, this is a show that's for you guys. So the more you guys comment, the more you're here, the better the show gets. So come on, let your friends know we're here. We're having a good time. All right, so let's get right into it, guys. Let's talk about last week's poll question we did, which was done on Cinco de Mayo. Applause for everybody here. Cinco de Mayo was the last show, May 5th. So I asked you guys in the poll question, do you do anything special for Cinco de Mayo, since it's kind of, some people celebrate, some people don't, not really sure. But we do. We always, we had tacos and all that good stuff on Cinco de Mayo. 8 people voted. That was it this time. Very small vote for the poll. But 63% of the 8 people said yes, and 37% said no. I was part of that 63%. We do celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It's always kind of one of those fun days in May that we, give us an excuse to drink a margarita and have some tacos and some Mexican food. So Cinco de Mayo last week, it was good. We enjoyed it. It was a good show last week. So that one, we did get the poll question up for this week, which is actually a great poll question. I was just sitting there as I was writing the show up this week, and I was just thinking about like 2020 and everything that's happened this year. So I wanted to ask you guys, who thinks 2020 so far has been complete shit? Because I do. I've already voted. This year is really, really just kind of started off, and as everybody would say, is just kind of been horrible with the virus and everything else going on, and now killer hornets, and who else knows what level of Jumanji we're going to be in. Jared, welcome to the show, sir. Thank you so much for being here. We're talking about this week's poll question that I just put up. Want to know what you guys think about 2020 so far? Best year ever, or is it absolutely horrible of a year? Let's get some light in. Let's shed some light on this. So just curious what you guys are thinking. Jared, thanks so much for being here. Hopefully you guys are staying safe and healthy. Hopefully your family and everybody there around you is safe and healthy as well. Missed you the last couple of times on the show. Glad you could be here tonight, Jared. Thank you so much for being here tonight. So it's been interesting. This year has definitely been interesting so far. A lot going on, a lot of adjustment that's needed to be had. Spent a lot of time at home. I'm on week 9 now of quarantine, and it's definitely the new norm at the moment, I guess, and it's been interesting. I want to know about you guys and what you think about what 2020 has been like so far. If you guys are happy with it, do you guys think it's garbage? Like, to me, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's gone down the toilet. But, summer and spring is ahead of us, and I am looking forward to the warmer days. It's supposed to get cold tonight here in Michigan, but it is supposed to warm up after this, and I am looking forward to that, especially with the wife and I are having Jeeps this year, new Jeeples. We are looking forward to enjoying those with the tops off and all of that this summer as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But Want to know what you guys think. So make sure you guys go do the poll, share the poll, tell your friends to do the poll, invite them to do it. Let's see what everybody thinks. We'll review that one next week as well on the show next week. So thank you, everybody, for being here. A lot of great stuff to hear on the show tonight. It's going to be a good one. Jared says it's bad, but not the level of shit. I'm just hoping the ban is lifted slightly in June. You and me both. Looking forward to a lift, or at least being able to see some people and get out and do some stuff. Like I said, we'll recap what we did for Mother's Day in the personal recap. But it was, and we got out a little bit, but it's just so rough. You know, it'd be nice to be able to take the kids out, to be honest with you. I think that's been the hardest part is the kids have really been locked up. We really have not chose to expose them to anything or anywhere. We haven't taken them to the grocery store. They barely leave the house. And when they do, they stay in the Jeep. So it's just been interesting. It'd be nice to get them out to be able to experience things and do some stuff other than just sitting at home and playing video games and doing schoolwork and all that kind of stuff. So that's definitely been a big adjustment for this year, especially for the kids and all of that. So thank you, Jared, for your comment. Appreciate that. All right. So again, guys, no crickets in the chat. As always, guys, keep your comments coming. This show is for you. And as you guys leave your comments, we'll go ahead and read them on camera. Love to hear your guys' opinion tonight, especially with all of the information we have coming at you here on Car Lot Confessions. A couple of good stories to go over, all that kind of stuff. But as of right now, not a rubber ducky. We need to get into one of my favorite segments of the show, guys. Grinds My Gears is coming up. One of my favorite segments of the show. Again, this is where I get to share a little bit of what's been bugging me lately, some things that have been on my mind that are a little frustrating, and talk about that, and maybe get a little positive twist to it if we can. You guys will have to forgive me tonight. Unfortunately, I don't have my script written out for the show. It is on the computer, so you guys are going to see me staring at the computer a little bit more tonight than to the camera like I usually do. But that's because all of my write-up is there. So hopefully you guys can bear with me on that. But let's get into Grinds My Gears tonight, guys. Grinds My Gears. Coronavirus is causing an already major disconnect from each other due to technology to be even worse these days, more than ever. So that's Grinds My Gears. Let's get right into it, guys. In a society where the world is already disconnected in a sense from one another, we are now facing times where it has gone exponentially due to the coronavirus. With our faces in our phones, video game consoles, and computers already, since quarantine started, it has only gotten worse. As news continues to be updated by the minute, either real or fake, Facebook being checked for the 1 millionth time instead of the 1,000th time, and video game play skyrocketing because there is nothing else left to do. We have been launched even faster and deeper into an electronic world than we ever were before. And the sad thing is that it was already bad. Coronavirus has only helped one thing in this world, and that is the providers of digital content. The virus has proven to the world that digital is the most important thing, and that implications and problems this causes is only going to get worse. From people spending countless hours on video games because there's nothing else for them to do, or to the people who are lucky enough to work from home, who are now working more hours and spending more time in front of their computers because it's at their fingertips than ever. I do not think that we are ever going to recover from this personally. We are never going to get back to the days where we connected, where we've been connected between people face-to-face was required and things like that. We're never going to get back to the days where the work was left at the office and the home was for home and for family time. The days where you only found out what was going on in the world at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 11 p.m. That's when the news came on. And it was only the one time that you needed to watch it, that it wasn't going to get updated again until the next day. Days where you only found out what was going on in the world during the news and just the news. One source, one place of information, there or the radio. The truth is, the days of togetherness are over. The days for physical presence is gone. And that's personally what grinds my gears this week, guys. And I want to know what you guys think about that. So let's get the question of the night out to you. The question of the night is, how do you feel about the way the world has shifted in the last 8 or 9 weeks towards the electronic world that we've now dove deeper into? I want to know what you guys think about that. Do you find yourselves thinking the way that I do or not in regards to electronics and the computers and phones and how everything is just kind of surrounding technology these days? To me, it really grinds my gears. I was sitting back and thinking about it, and just thinking about my own family life in general. And, I've spent more time at my computer working because I'm at home and doing Zoom meetings and Google Meet meetings and constantly being connected to the work life electronically, that I feel like I've been spending more hours doing that when I would when I came and left, went and came and left from the office. My kids are spending more times on video games because their friends are on, because everybody's there playing, and that's because that's the only thing left to do. Life skills and chores and all that stuff can be done, and we do that stuff, and we keep a structure during the day, but at some point that stuff ends, and it's hard to kind of fill that time. Jared says it would be okay with technology if we didn't have to rely on it most of the time. It's crazy. I had 2 Zoom meetings today. 2 is actually not too bad. I have had days where I've had 3 or 4, and the most I've had so far are 5 Zoom meetings in one day. Me, I've always been a face-to-face guy. I like seeing someone, shaking hands, saying hi, and having that personal interaction with someone. It's so, don't get me wrong, I enjoy Zoom. I enjoy that Zoom is capable, and right now when we have to social distance is important. But we have now projected or propelled the working from home, working remotely, never having to leave your office, your home, your place, or where you're at to join a meeting. We've entered that era so quickly now, way more than we were before, due to this virus. And I can see companies and places taking advantage of this newfound technology of being remote to the greater extent. And it just absolutely grinds my gears. I mean, and I'm worried because, I find myself on social media more these days. We're stuck at home. You can't go anywhere. You're not interacting with friends and family as much as you were before. And I feel like it's just kind of made us all dive so much deeper into this disconnect with technology from one another, and that technology is filling that void, that it's made it difficult, and it's scary to me. And that's, I guess the positive twist we can put on this is, sure, there are some advances in technology and things that we've gotten to. I've enjoyed time at home with the kids and that kind of stuff, and relax, being able to wear relaxed attire, not having to wear a shirt and tie every single day. There are some good things about this coronavirus and this pandemic and staying at home, but the fact that technology and the internet and all of this stuff is just pounding on us consistently, I don't think we go backwards from here and get back to the days where it was less. I think it's going to continue to exponentially grow more in our lives, and it's just getting worse and worse with constant news updates, Facebook updates, Instagram, and video games, work emails, work meetings, all of this in front of screens, nonstop screens, 24/7. And that just absolutely grinds my gears. So let me know what you guys think in regards to this. Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys kind of see that this pandemic has kind of projected everything further into a world of technology that, ultimately this could be used by companies and business going forward? The fact that I think it was a lot easier for a lot of people to transition to this work from home remotely type scenario and life, where I think that businesses are going to take advantage of it. I'm afraid and hope that you take a vacation day or you take a sick day and there's meetings scheduled. Typically you would miss that kind of stuff. But now being able to be remote, work from home, Zoom in, Google Meets in, camera in, even if you're sick or you're ill a bit, are you still required to join those meetings now because we have that technology in place? Like, how far of an extent is this going to go and take, especially when we get back to whatever the new normal is going to be? Scares me, grinds my gears, worries me a lot. Hi, Pam. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Currently talking about grinds my gears, in which I mentioned how currently this whole world of technology that we've been thrown into currently with this coronavirus and pandemic is just adding that much more of a disconnect to the world and to families and to people, and that I don't know if we're ever going to actually recover from it personally, and that's what scares me. It scares me a ton to think that might be the case. So Jared says, I'm sick or on vacation, I'm skipping the Zoom meeting. And I hope that's the case. And I want that to be the case for everybody, to be honest with you. That really should be how it is. But I don't know if that's always going to be the way that it's going to be. Like, I can see that being a problem 100%. And I hope that's not the case. But yeah, I mean, skipping the Zoom meeting would be a good thing. I'd want to skip the Zoom meeting. But if it's that important of a meeting and your boss says you better be there, what are you going to do? You know? So, grinds my gears. Like I said, as the positive is, we've seen technical advances, we've seen transition, all of that kind of stuff in regards to getting to a point where we can work remotely and things like that if need be from home. But right now, I'm hoping that it's not something that gets taken advantage of, and I can see that happening. All right, guys, that's Grinds My Gears this week. Hopefully you guys like Grinds My Gears. I still want to hear what you guys have to say. So if you weren't able to comment now and wanted to make a comment later about Grinds My Gears, please feel free to put it in the chat or in the comments below in the discussion area on YouTube, and we will go ahead and discuss a little further in regards to that. But I could definitely see this being a topic that's going to come up a little more regularly because it is something that's going to continue to happen, I think. That's just my thoughts on Grinds My Gears. All right, enough Grinds My Gears, guys. Let's get into the news stories for the week. Let's get into that. Let's see. Where are we at? Need my sound effects. An enlightening gong as we get into the news stories this week. A lot of good news stories this week. And unfortunately, we need to talk about this number one news story that I found on CNN that absolutely I felt like had to be discussed. And I want to hear your guys' opinion about this. So please feel free to put it in the chat, because there's a lot of comments I have about this one and a lot of personal feeling. The story that I'm going to talk to you about and let you guys fill you in on is posted by CNN. And the story title was Predicted COVID-19 U.S. Death Toll Keeps Rising with States Reopening and More People Moving Around. So as we're progressing, let's get right into that. As we're progressing into this phase to where things are starting to shift in and out. Whoops. Applauding you guys for being here. Thank you so much. As we're shifting in and out here of what each state and each governor is feeling is best for their state on how to get back to some normalcy and getting to work and all of that with spring and summer coming up. The first story I see as this is starting to happen is, to me, a let's strike fear in America. Personally, that's how I feel. All right, so the story reads, a leading model has increased its U.S. coronavirus death toll projection again as governors continue lifting measures towards reopening. The model from the Institute of Health Metrics and Evaluation at the University of Washington now forecasts more than 137,000 Americans will die by early August. That is a huge, very bold statement and a prediction of what could be happening. So to me, that's crazy that they would even say something like that right off leading into a story. All right, so there's that. So 137,000 Americans will die by early August. That rise is largely due to Americans moving around more, which makes sense. The Institute for Health Metrics and Evaluations Director, Dr. Christopher Murray, said in a news release, adding that in some places, the upward trend in movement began before statewide measures were relaxed. So people were obeying the rules or what they put in place. And research tracked that the movement through anonymous cell phone data, according to the release. So what I like about that statement is that they basically just said that they're using cell phone data anonymously to track this. Like they weren't tracking us already. Jared says, SMH, that's a lot of deaths, but too many people are foolishly thumbing their noses to the social distancing, mask wearing, etc. 100%, and I totally agree with that. And I have personal feelings about that as well, but I agree. There are people that are not on board with social distancing, of course, and I totally understand what you're saying. But that is a lot of deaths, and to me, that's insane. And researchers tracked the movement through anonymous cell phone data, according to the release. So they're tracking us without us knowing it, and that's a perfectly open statement. And I'm not sure if you guys took it that way or not, but I did. And nice to know that they finally admitted it. All right, unless and until we see accelerated testing, which this is Dr. Christopher speaking still, we see accelerated testing, contact tracing, isolating people who test positive, and widespread use of masks in public, which you just brought up, Jared, there's a significant likelihood of new infections, Murray said in the release. Well, that's pretty obvious there, Murray, I would say. Doesn't take a genius to know that. Seriously, though, I mean, if people are going to be moving around, there's going to be, and people aren't wearing masks, and they're not isolating, and they're not quarantining, if they test positive, yeah, we're clearly going to get new cases. So thank you for telling us stuff we already knew. Let's see. States began setting reopening plans in late April, with governors in South Carolina and Georgia leading the way with some of the most aggressive plans, which I haven't read their plans, so I'm not sure. And by this week, nearly every state has begun relaxing restrictions, which I know we have here in Michigan. Let's see. Despite not meeting the guidelines put forth by the federal government, basically outright says states aren't listening to the federal government, states laid out phased reopenings they said were guided by data and advice of medical experts. What data? But other public health officials gave dire warning about the thousands of lives that could be lost with premature relaxing of measures. Now, that's totally understandable, and yeah, that's a very common thing to think and worry about. I mean, they've done polls that people are worried about reopening early and all that kind of stuff. So that's absolutely something that I know people in America, people here are worried about. That's for sure. Let's see. Despite not meeting guidelines put forth, I already read that. And the public remains torn as well. A Pew Research Center poll showed nearly 2/3 of Americans said they were concerned about their state opening too early, but thousands of people across the country protested in recent weeks for their rights to go back to work. So Michigan is one of those states that has protested and been in the national news in regards to the way they protested with their rifles and whatever else and this, that, and the other. And sorry, guys, got to get a little drink here. Apologize. They protested, and those are the ones that are causing this. Like, to me, reopening states due to a couple thousand people saying that they're protesting when 2/3, according to this study, says that 2/3 are worried. That's a lot more people that are worried than are protesting. And by all means, I get people need to get back to work. Bills need to get paid. They haven't, told us we don't have to pay our mortgages, which still need to get done. Car payments, insurance, electricity, water, all these things have to be paid still. So I understand people want to get to work. I'm fortunate to still be working. But, that's a very, very skewed set of data, and I'd like to know where they got that from, to be honest with you. The article continues, what might come after the reopenings won't be apparent for weeks. One expert told CNN it will be at least 2 to 3 weeks before states may begin seeing increased infections, which makes sense because all of us stayed home. Then we gather, and it takes time for the virus to kick in. And when it does, boom, you have it. And then that'll go up. That makes sense. So far, more than 1,329,700 Americans have been infected, and at least 79,528 have died, according to the Johns Hopkins University. So the only fact in here in this entire article that stands out to me, of course, is that last one that they actually tied Johns Hopkins University to. You can actually go and check the facts on that. But again, we've also heard all this fake news and stuff in regards to this, that every death is being associated to coronavirus, no matter what it is, if you die right now. And then to me, I don't know if that's true or not. But again, we're getting numbers thrown at us on a daily basis, and we don't know where these numbers are coming from. So Michigan is one of those states that has been starting to open up and has been implementing new ways to, or relaxing some of the restrictions and things like that to try to make some people happy. Excuse me, to get people to go back to work. But the infection and stuff is still there. We definitely need to be concerned about that. And it seems like there's a split, as there is with everything else. You have your people who are far right, who say, you're taking my rights away. And then you have the people that are far left, who follow the rules and don't understand the right. It's ridiculous right now. And of course, everything 100% is politically charged. That article, though, by CNN was great. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. Sorry, got to go work. Hold on, be right back. Sorry. To be continued. All right, so sorry about that, guys. I am back. We had some visitors to the lot that I had to address, so I apologize about that. We are back live on the show, though. The first time you see me out of the car, yes, I'm safe. Don't worry. Everything was good. No, we're fine. We had some visitors a lot. Thank you so much, Jared. I appreciate that. That happens. It's a live show, and sometimes that happens. That's actually the first time that's happened in over a year of filming. Actually, I think this is the second time I've had to get out of the car or go address something while the show was going on. So, hey, it's 2020. Things are crazy this year, right? Anyway, so thank you so much, Jared. Appreciate that. All is good. Just had to talk to some visitors to the lot. All right, as we were talking about this article, though, from CNN in regards to me, it was a fear-mongering article and just kind of raising like fear and all of that in regards to the public and about, these lax laws or these lax executive orders that are in place and all that kind of stuff. I mean, literally saying that another 137,000 Americans are going to die by August is, to me, is right off the bat a very crazy statement to start with. And to kind of put that at the beginning of the article clearly is, I think this is an entirely fear-mongering article posted by CNN, trying to raise and use facts that are shocking as in regards to the numbers of deaths and the people's opinions, using things like 2/3 of Americans compared to the thousands that are protesting. These are all skewed numbers and skewed data in regards to pushing forth the effort that, to kind of keep that fear out there and stuff. And that's partly what I think about this article. I want to know what you guys think, because it is true. It is there. And it's kind of a scary article, the data just doesn't seem to be there to support the article itself. I agree that this coronavirus is there. It's scary, and we need everybody to do their part in regards to trying to minimize the spread of the virus and all of that kind of stuff. But the turn that this is taking, and again, it's clickbaiting data that they're using in their favor. Again, this is why we created Carlock Confessions. So that's the first article I wanted to talk about, and it was a very interesting article to me in regards to it. all that, everything they put out there. So let's get into article number 2 that I have for tonight. Another article. Here we go. Article number 2 in regards to coronavirus as well, but this one has a little more of an interesting turn on it, and this one will be a little more. It's got a little better of a feel, I guess. I don't know. This one takes place in Singapore. Singapore officials using robo-dogs to enforce social distancing in parks. If that doesn't have Terminator written all over it and AI taking over, I don't know what it does. Seriously. All right, so in Singapore, and this was reported on May 8th, so a little older of a story. Far from barking in its orders, which, haha, they use jokes there too. A robot dog enlisted by Singapore's authorities to help curb coronavirus infection in the city state politely asked joggers and cyclists to stay apart. The remote-controlled four-legged machine built by Boston Dynamics was first deployed in a Central Park on Friday as part of a 2-week trial that could see it join other robots policing Singapore's green spaces during nationwide lockdown. So now we have robots policing. This sounds just like RoboCop. I find it interesting that they're using technology. Again, here we are with technology again. I know, RoboDog. Nobody's ever, doesn't matter how robot or how great they are, they're never going to beat Legend. We'll just put that out there for you, Jared. So they're policing like the green parks and the parks and places that people are gathering and all of that. RoboDog. To me, this is, here we go. All right, let's keep Singapore healthy as the, in quotations, the yellow and black RoboDog named Spot, how original, said in English as it roamed around, because dogs roam. For your own safety and for those around you, please stand at least 1 meter apart. Thank you, it added, in a softly spoken female voice. So basically, because it has a female voice, it's not going to be the Terminator? I don't know. Did they not see which Terminator it was? Terminator 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 that had the girl Terminator that was trying to kill one of the people? Anyways, so female voice. I guess that makes it friendlier. Despite the niches or breaches of Singapore's strict lockdown rules can result in hefty fines and jail time. So you have robo-dogs out, but if you are caught out doing things you're not supposed to be doing or not obeying executive orders, fines and jail time. Maybe that would work here in America. Let's see. The city-state of 5.7 million people has more than 21,000 cases, one of the highest tallies in Asia, largely due to the mass infections among migrant workers living in cramped dormitories in areas little visited by tourists. So, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Under rules to enforce the lockdown in place until June 1, residents can only leave their homes for essential trips like grocery shopping and must wear masks at all times. Oh, excuse me. Live TV, that's what happens. Excuse me for that. So they have to wear their masks. They're required to. They're allowed to go out, same as here. But they have robo-dogs. So does that make them cooler than us? All right. And the authorities behind the latest trial, the government technology and cybersecurity agencies, which we already knew those existed, said in a statement that Spot could be better can get better across rough terrain in parks and gardens. Exercise outdoors is permissible, but must be done alone. Another robot in the shape of a small car, so now they have a dog in a car, has been deployed at a nearby reservoir to warn visitors not to loiter and that gatherings are not allowed. So now we have a car that's blasting political messages or messages in general. Thank you so much, Jared, for blessing me. I appreciate that. That's live TV for you. And so we have a car going around giving messages over a speakerphone, I'm assuming. Probably manned or not manned, I'm not sure. And then a robo-dog. Yep, I've seen enough movies. All right, let's see. Authorities said that cameras would not be able to track individuals, as well as broadcasting messages reminding visitors of social distancing measures. Spot is fitted with cameras and analytic tools to estimate the number of people in the park. Authorities said the cameras would not be able to track individuals or record personal data. Yeah, right. Like they don't track our cell phones now, that was just admitted in the last article, or use anonymous data, or won't use cameras to record anything. Yeah, right. Okay, thank you. So again, more fake news. Authorities said, let's see, Spot has recently been trialed for use as at temporary hospitals delivering medicine to patients. So now we have RoboDog, or Spot, the RoboDog, delivering medication as well, along with using a polite women's voice to tell you to not to be socially conscious and distant from others. I'm telling you, they're taking over the world. I love the name Spot. What do you guys think about that? Tell me what you think about robots getting involved and using them as police and using them as reminders to people out right now and all of that kind of stuff. What do you think about that? Because to me, I think this is, again, excessive use of technology. We're using technology to do this kind of stuff. How impersonal is it that you're having a robot tell you what to do and reminding you of the guidelines that you should be following? I mean, that's interesting to me. And then having a robot administer your medication, to me, that sounds like a lawsuit waiting to happen, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm not against technology. I'm not against robotics. But this isn't RoboCop. And this isn't, Dr. MD Robot Kid. I'm for it, Jared says, but of course you knew my answer. Yes, I did. But I appreciate you commenting, and I want your comments here, Jared. So please feel free to chime in and let me know. But seriously, that is, to me, that's super, again, here we are going back to taking, maybe robotics and technology taking over jobs and stuff. That was an issue at one time as well, and has been an issue. I mean, the auto industries and all this kind of stuff, all these places, ATMs taking over jobs. Now we have robots that are taking over enforcement of of social distancing and administering medication, and we call it Spot, and it's a robot dog, and we're supposed to love it. I don't know about that, and I'm glad they gave it a woman's voice. Maybe that's more motherly. I'm not really sure, but it's still not. I don't know. It still confuses me. Anyways, that's my feelings about it. If you guys have any comments about that story in specific as well, and you guys are viewing this at a later time, or you're viewing this on YouTube as well, please feel free to leave your comments about this article in the comment section or in the discussion down below. And I would love to be able to continue the conversation about this article and about this technology that they're using when you have time. So, all right, let's get into our final story for the night. And this one I thought was good. And let's get away from the coronavirus here a little bit. A little more this one's enlightening, but also fun in the weird news section as well. I'm sure all of you heard about this 5-year-old who stole his parents' car to get rewarded, gets rewarded with a Lamborghini ride. The kid that stole his parents' car to go buy a Lamborghini. I had to talk about this after reading the articles and all of that kind of stuff. I thought 100% we have to discuss this one for sure, because as a parent, I'm a bit appalled by this, actually. So let's get into the story if you don't know about it. A 5-year-old Utah boy who police caught driving his family's SUV this week may have discovered that crime does pay. That sentence altogether is bothersome to me. That's because an adult who heard how Adrian Zamarripia, I know I hacked it up, stole the keys of his family's Dodge Journey, then started off to California to buy a Lamborghini. Decided to give the kid a taste of supercar life with a ride around the neighborhood. So, this guy, Jeremy Neves, a local businessman, said that he reached out to the family after the story of the kid's automotive exploit went viral. He says, "I'm absolutely inspired by the principles that he displayed of success, knowing what he wants and going after it," Neves told local news station. KSL-TV, I guess. Neves insisted he doesn't approve of Adrian's actions, though it is kind of seems like he does because he's rewarding him for it, right? And saying, hey, you know what you want, go get it, right? Absolutely, I'm not encouraging kids to go out and take their parents' car and do anything else that's illegal, he said. I'm not advocating that at all, but if you have to state that, technically you understand that that's how it's coming across. Clips of the Lamborghini Joyride showed Adrian sitting with on someone's lap, 5-year-old, in the front seat without a seatbelt, driving around the block with Neves behind the wheel of his dream car. So not only did he steal the kid's car, or the kid steal the family car, got pulled over because he wanted to get a Lamborghini, now he's getting rewarded for Grand Theft Auto, as Jared just said. Yeah, he's rewarding car theft, basically, which is basically the case. He stole his parents' car, and he's getting rewarded for committing Grand Theft Auto. Then, not only that, this guy comes and picks him up, and I don't know if it was mom or his dad that was in the car with him, but he was on the lap without a seatbelt on, getting driven around. To me, that's insane, and there's clips of this. This car is fast, the kid exclaims. The Utah Highway Patrol said it won't cite anyone for Adrian's motoring on Monday, because he didn't have a seatbelt on, according to Fox13now.com. Police said they stopped the SUV, so back to the stolen car, after noticing it was swerving on the interstate. Adrian said he was on his way to California to buy a Lamborghini because his parents refused to get him one. Yeah, well, I asked my parents for a lot of things, and they refused to give it to me too, and I didn't steal my parents' car to go get it. Adrian's sister, Sydney, told CNN that her little brother has been grounded for the caper, and his chore list has gotten bigger. Neves sympathized with the little boy's self-inflicted pain. I thought it would be really cool to say your dreams aren't as far away as you think they are, he told the news station, which I'm assuming is Neves. But many people on Twitter thought this was exactly the wrong message for the kid, and I agree with them, and I think Jared does too. Tamara, the heiress, on Twitter, said, thank you. A 5-year-old steals a car. Let's take him on a joyride in a sports car without a car seat. Normally, I'd say he didn't know better, but he knew enough to head to the dealership and to pull over when the cops busted him. She makes a great point, 100%. J. Walter Weatherman says, kid risks his own life, or kid risks his own and many others' lives. News rewards him. Not shocking. I think he kind of agrees with me in regards to all the negative media out there. Crimson Carl, another person on Twitter, states, this disgusts me. Everything about it. KSL or KLS for airing it, the guy for facilitating the ride, for views, I'm sure. But most of all, this kid's parents. I hope he turns out to be a great kid, but if he doesn't, reflect back on this whole situation. I agree. Parenting is, for anybody who has kids, and I'm a parent myself, for anybody who has kids, parenting comes down to moments like this, where you teach your kids a lesson that they will carry on and learn for the rest of their lives. And to me, this was one of those opportunities where this young 5-year-old boy should have been taught a lesson that you don't steal cars and you can't just always get up and go and do that kind of stuff, and that this stuff was bad and he's being rewarded for it. So Fire Larry Scott on Twitter also said, good way to teach him not to act out again, right? And Nathaniel Davenport on Twitter said, I get both sides of this. He's a cute kid, but the waiter side of this is that he did something illegal and dangerous and is now being rewarded for it with positive attention. That's about the last thing I'd want to do to a 5-year-old. It could be very confusing. And he makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is 100% confusing. I mean, at 5 years old, you do something wrong, you should be told you did something wrong, and there's consequences for it. That's what parenting is, right? So, I mean, 100%, we all know as parents that kids do things they're not supposed to. That's kids. It's part of learning. We've talked about this many times, kids making mistakes and the parenting that goes around it and all that kind of stuff. And this is an opportunity to be taught a lesson in regards to that stuff. And basically, this 5-year-old was 100% rewarded for his actions, for stealing, for a Grand Theft Auto. The cops pulled him over. I mean, I've seen people get busted for less and for what, and not as bad as this. And this 5-year-old gets rewarded with getting a ride in a Lamborghini, which is what he was going to go buy anyways. To me, definitely the wrong message, definitely the wrong parenting. Here, I'm not here to judge people and how they parent, but I definitely don't agree with the way things were handled. And I actually am kind of putting on blast that news station for even putting it out there. Because what does that tell other 5-year-olds or other kids about what this one kid did? Like, are you going to, if I go out and do this, will I get rewarded and I'm going to go try this and that and the other? I don't know. Hopefully everybody feels enlightened. That's for the kid. Careful. You're going to hear that a lot if you keep stealing cars. All right. So that's in the news, guys. That was the In the News for the week. Hopefully you guys liked it. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Jared, for all your comments. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. It has been, that is In the News. All right. So as we keep moving along, let's get into a couple more sound effects here. Always play it. All right. All right, so let's get into the positive personal recap and reflection for the week, guys. One of the segments that I love to do. I love sharing with you guys my life a little bit, things that are going on in it, the trials, tribulations, and successes, and hopefully you guys can share and relate with what's going on in my life with yours, which is why we do this. So let's get right into it. Another week of quarantine. It was another interesting week, of course. It was a good week, good weekend. We celebrated Mother's Day on Sunday, and my beautiful wife. And it's become a tradition for us to always go to greenhouses. It's something she enjoys to do on Mother's Day. And we decided that even with coronavirus, greenhouses were open. We decided we were going to do that. So we ventured out. We took the kids with us. But again, they didn't leave the Jeep. But I know they were happy to finally get away from the house for a little bit as well. We did go to a couple greenhouses and found some beautiful plants and some flowers. We're able to get some flowers for my mother-in-law and for my great grandmother-in-law as well. Two wonderful, amazing women that we love very much. And happy Mother's Day again to all the mothers out there in the CLC world. And anybody who views this as a mom, happy but belated Mother's Day. But we did. We went to a couple greenhouses. We made this a bit of a tradition every year, which we do, celebrating my wife and her awesome, amazing motherly skills. The week was packed with work for me and the wife and homework and for the kids and all that kind of stuff. We've been teaching life lessons. Kids have been cooking meals and that kind of stuff. And it's been going really well, actually. There's been a lot of good learning and good experiences in the home. I've been enjoying the home stuff a little bit more, not taking it for granted. And so far, so good. Let's see. We're looking forward to warmer weather, warming up here in Michigan and getting some sunshine back in the Michigan State as well. For the most part, it's supposed to get cold tonight, but warm up after that. And for the most part, everything else is the same. It's just kind of been as we're trying to see how things pan out, just like everybody else, and kind of keeping everybody positive and happy and healthy. So that is what this whole week was. Thank you so much. The positive personal recap for the week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. And again, it's kind of one of those things, like there's not a lot going on right now because of COVID. So, all right. So let's get into the positive quote for the night. Positive quote for the night. This one I liked, and it makes sense, and it's good for me, and I enjoyed it, and so this is why I picked it for this week. Let me know what you guys think about it. Thank you, Jared. Jared says that's great. Things went well on Sunday, so thank you. Yes, things did go well on Sunday. It was nice. We had a wonderful dinner. I cooked. What did I cook on Sunday? I cooked steaks and potatoes, and it was delicious, and it was a very good Sunday. So thank you. Hopefully all the mothers out there enjoyed theirs as well. All right, so positive quote for the night. You do not find the happy life, you make it. Camilla Irwin Kimball said this, and I thought it was very interesting because as of right now with COVID and everything that's going on at home, and people are starting to get tired and irritated with everything and kind of having cabin fever, you do not find the happy life. So whatever's happy in your life or whatever you're not happy about, you have to make it. And that's why I thought this was a great quote for tonight, kind of uplifting and kind of a refresher that nothing is going to get handed to us on a silver platter. If you want a happy life, you have to make it a happy life. So that's the positive quote for the week.
I love it.
So that was that, and I thought it was a good quote just because of everything that's going on. So to me, that's the quote. All right, guys, let's get into the top fan for the week. It's been a good week. Last week's show was a good show. We actually had a person on there who was commenting more than he has before, and he has attended a couple of shows, and he's been very positive, which I've really enjoyed. So this top fan for the week this week is Josh Mitchell. Congratulations, Josh. Josh is constantly doing contributions to the show. He did last week, made the show really great, and is just being positive and was very informative and put a lot of great comments. So congratulations to Josh. You are the top fan of the week, sir. Thank you so much. Congratulations to you, everybody. Let's give him a big round of applause as I get back to that. Big round of applause for Josh. Congratulations, sir, for being top fan of the week. All right. So after top fan, we always do shout outs and birthdays, guys. So if you have any shout outs or birthdays that you would like to have read off on the air tonight, please feel free to put them in the chat and I will get them on for you. But as always, let's do our shout outs for this week. All right, shout outs for the week. Of course, this is, as always, first responders and those who give their lives for our safety and our freedom here in America, medical workers, nurses. It was Nurses Week. All of them, delivery drivers, grocery store workers, everybody who's out there making sure that America is still moving and taking care of one another. I give you guys a big shout out to all the people staying at home and doing their part to kind of curve the flatten the curve on all this coronavirus and all of that kind of stuff as well. Big shout out to you guys. Jared says no birthdays or shout outs this week. That's okay. I appreciate you being here nonetheless, sir. And we'll go ahead and continue to shout out these people as well. For everybody following the orders and staying home, shouting you out, guys. For everybody, all the mothers out there, again, happy Mother's Day. To everybody this past Sunday, all the mothers, big shout out. For everybody that's putting others before themselves right now and not being selfish and understanding that love and positiveness will be the only way that we come out on top of this. I shout you guys out. As always, to all my Jeeples out there, everybody out there in the Jeep world, Jeep community, you guys are the best. I shout you out. And of course, to all my followers here on Facebook and on YouTube, all my subscribers, everybody who continues to contribute to Carlock Confessions and support this page and support this show, I shout you guys out as well. Thank you so much, guys. Greatly appreciate it. Besides the frontline folks, Jared says, yes, we always shout out the frontline folks as well because they also need to be recognized. I think frontline people are the ones right now that are the heroes and definitely need to be put out there. So thank you so much, Jared, for that. All right, let's get into birthdays. Birthdays this week, I want to give a big happy birthday to Hillary Wingert. Her birthday is today. Happy birthday, Hillary. Courtney Beardsley, your birthday is today as well. Happy birthday. Sarah Bowen, your birthday is tomorrow. So happy early birthday to you. A good friend of mine and coworker, Brent Nicola, happy birthday to you, sir, as well on the 14th. Jonathan Sykes, a person and gentleman that we met while we were in Ireland back in 2012. What a great guy. Owns the castle we stayed at in Ireland. Jonathan Sykes, happy birthday to you. Alyssa Davila, happy birthday to you, dear. You're on the 15th. And Tom Mosier, an old friend of mine from when I was a kid, happy birthday to you on the 18th, sir. Happy birthday to all of you. Hillary, Courtney, Brent, Jonathan, Alyssa, and Tom. Happy birthday, guys. And if you guys know of anybody, please, again, put them out there. We'll give them a big shout out for their birthday. Birthdays are special, as always. So happy birthday, everyone. So that, everybody, is the birthdays. That's the shout outs. That's the, recognizing our heroes and everything like that. So to me, that's what we're partly here for. And I love ending the show on notes like that and getting there because it's a collaborative effort to keep things going and staying positive and recognizing the efforts of everybody. I think is one of the things I enjoy most about this show as well. So big shout out to you guys. Thank you so much. We're still at 156 followers, but please continue to share, like, and let your friends know that we're here. I'm hoping we can grow to 200 here real soon. Let's continue to go. Let's go. Let's grow. Hopefully 200's on the horizon. We're going to be doing another giveaway for a decal, guys, so that's going to be happening. Tonight was the Frank and Jared show. Thank you so much. Jared says, I guess tonight was the Frank and Jared show. Where was everyone? I don't know. I think they're all sleeping because it's coronavirus time. I don't know. Heck, even Legend was here. Thank you, Legend, for being here, listening to the show. He liked the Robo-Dog story. I'm sure he did, and Legend is my favorite K9 follower, so thank you so much, sir, for you guys and your efforts tonight. Jared, I think you pretty much secured the fan of the week for next week, sir, for being here tonight. I appreciate you supporting me. Without you, it would have been just me, and that's never any good. So thank you so much, though, again. As always, guys, anybody else who views this, share the video, get an entry into our contest. We'll do another live drawing on a show in a couple of weeks for another giveaway for Carlock Confessions. And as always, if you guys can donate blood, donating blood is one of the best ways and easiest ways to be the change. Michigan is always in need of blood, so if you can donate, please do so, like our hero here, Jared, who's donated over 6 gallons in his time and is continuing to. So thank you, Jared, for all that you do. And that's it. That's the show. I'm not even going to recap it tonight because it was the Jared and Frank show. But thank you so much for being here, sir. I appreciate your support as always. And we'll be back next week for another live episode of Carlock Confessions. Hopefully we have a few more people on for that one. So tell your friends we're here. We'll get some new people and new faces and some new comments. As always, be safe, be positive, guys, and be the change. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great night. Have a good night, and hope your wife is feeling better. Stay safe. I'm donating blood in 2 weeks. Thank you so much, sir. As always, Jared, you're a hero, sir. I really respect and am proud of everything that you do, especially with donating blood. And thank you for asking about the wife. Thank you very much. Hope everything's well with you and your family. You guys take good care. Good night, Legend. Good night, Jared. Good night, Wadley family. And we will see you guys next week. And everybody else out there, remember, Tuesdays, 9 o'clock. We'll see you then. Good night, everyone.